Vladimir Putin says he's banning oil exports to select nations from February. The ban will apply to those countries that implemented a cap on what they were willing to pay for Russian oil earlier this month. The G7 nations, the EU and Australia all pledged to pay no more than $60 a barrel from the 5th of December to sanction Russia over its illegal invasion of Ukraine. Russia started the month as the world's second biggest exporter of oil. Energy analyst Tom O'Donnell is on the line for us. Tom, you're sceptical that this will have any significant effect. Why is that?
Well, good evening. Thank you for having me, Daniel. Already the European Union, it's rather stunning. They will no longer, as of December 5th, take any seaborne oil from Russia, which is the bulk of it. And the United States and Canada already are doing that. So Russia is mainly selling what it can't sell in Europe. They're selling as much of it as they can to India, China, and Turkey. And those countries are already paying Russia well below the market price, $25, $28 per barrel below the usual price for Russian oil. So just like right now, the price cap doesn't have much effect because $60 a barrel is above what Russia is getting from those countries. So too, this doesn't, there's no more countries that are obeying a price cap that aren't already not taking Russian oil. So it has very little effect right now. This is a bit of a chess game being set up by both sides that will now develop step by step, in my opinion.
OK, but a Russian economist explained it like this. The lower the volume is in the market, the higher the price will be. So Russia will be compensated by the rise in price of oil, which will be paid by other customers like China or India, as you said, considering that global prices should rise too as a result. So what you're saying is this plan, this is how it should work. It's just not as simple as that.
Yes. Let me give you an example. Well, of course, the example you just gave me, in the limit, if you think of your calculus class, in the limit, that goes to zero, okay, because they're not selling any oil. So Russia will certainly be selling less oil over time because that was a huge amount of oil that went to the European Union. And on February 5th, the European Union will stop taking refined products, diesel and so forth, which was a very important market. Now, to move that oil that would take maybe a week or so to come from the Baltic ports of Russia into Europe, now will take 2, 3, and more like 4 weeks to go all the way around to China and India. They need that many more times ships. And the problem is you can't get insurance on those ships, generally real, world standard insurance, unless you get it from companies in the European Union and the United States and Britain. And those countries will not give insurance, will not allow it anymore for Russian oil unless it's sold under the price cap. So even if, this is a problem. So India and China aren't going to agree with the price cap. But because there's a price cap, they're saying to Russia, you can't sell your oil to Europe anymore. You can't sell it over a certain price elsewhere. So we won't go along with the cap, but you better give us a lower price. And that seems to be what's happening. And that's what the Biden administration intended.
OK, and now Russia's hoping that the EU will be hit by this. So how is the EU coping at the moment with this price cap, with its shift away from Russian oil?
With the oil, it's going. Gas is another matter. Russia has this lever over Europe, but in oil, it seems to be so far going pretty well. It's being handled pretty well. We don't see any great spikes in the price of oil right now. Of course, we all know what's coming is a recession in Europe. Everybody's predicting this, and China. They're trying to come out of COVID. Eventually, they're going to have a big demand for oil and gas. But for right now, they have a bit of a mess, as we all know. So for right now, it looks like the demand is going to be soft going forward, and there's not going to be any significant shock. Getting into next year, many analysts predict the price could go fairly high. That is possible if demand picks up and, the Russian oil can't go there. But in the long run, there's plenty of oil in the world. There's plenty of oil in the Middle East. There's plenty of oil in, but that takes a while.
OK, plenty much to look forward to for 2023 then. Lots of drama there in the energy markets, I bet. Tom O'Donnell, thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Daniel. Bye.